what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Soccer Mag podcast. I'm joined once again by Junaid Hardenberg, and we are starting a brand new season. 24-25 is starting on Friday, and basically today we're going to be going through our predictions for the first round. And just as a quick disclaimer, it's the first week. It's difficult to get accurate picks, so just bear with us. We're just going to give our opinions and see what happens. Just to get straight into it, first game, Friday, 16th of August, 9 p.m. We have Manchester United, Erik ten Hag's third season in charge. He's spent money and he's got lots of good players, so hopefully this will be exciting. Junaid, what do you think? What do you think of this game?
I think it's an interesting game because I'm actually very impressed with how United played in that Community Shield game. I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. I know they do have a lot of injuries, like we mentioned in the last podcast.
Luke Shaw's out
apparently
again now,
Luke Shaw is also injured.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting game because I feel like Fulham is also a very good team. They're building a really good team with the signing of
Emil Smith-Rowe.
Exactly. Yeah. So also from like the last results, that it has been a difficult fixture. It hasn't been a walk in the park for United. It's been like 2-1 wins. So I feel like it's a good game to start off the season. Very exciting.
Set the tone of where each team's going to go.
Exactly. So for my prediction, I actually have a 2-1 win for United.
Okay. I agree. I think United this season will be stronger. I think, they've made great signings, just adding Mazraoui and De Ligt.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's bringing the Ajax Avengers back. I think 4 of the back 5 now, all old Ajax players. But I think the squad is looking way more balanced. I think they still need, we mentioned, a right wing. Anthony's not good enough, but Ahmad has looked really good. Again, Community Shield, there were a lot of portions of their game where they were better than Man City. I think Man City did not look that good against United, and City were kind of lucky to stay in the game with that late equalizer. So I think it'll be an interesting one. Fulham last season or past couple seasons, they've been really difficult for the so-called bigger teams to face. They've always, they've never sat back. They're on the front foot. They want to hurt teams like Man United, Liverpool, City. It's going to be an exciting game for sure.
Yeah.
I also think 2-1. I think it's first game of the season. Teams are still going to be rusty. Are the new signings going to play? Are they not? I have a feeling maybe like De Ligt will play, but now that Luke Shaw's injured, maybe Mazraoui will come into the side as well. I think this is an important game because if United win this game comfortably, it'll mean, this season they really have stepped up a level.
Points on the board.
Exactly. And Fulham is a great test. It's one of those nice tests where you got the comfort of being at home at Old Trafford, but Fulham is not going to be an easy match, but I think 2-1.
Fulham has gone a little bit under the radar with the team that they're building.
Exactly.
So like Harry Wilson, Traore, Willian, all of them. It's like they're putting together a great team, and I think they're just going under the radar, and they could be a big surprise to a lot of teams this season.
Exactly, and I think last season they really were. The game that comes to mind is the 4-3 at Anfield against Liverpool. Liverpool had to fight. I mean, it was 4 world-class goals, like a free kick, 3 outside-the-box goals, and Fulham are not an easy team to beat at all. So I think, we've both said 2-1 to Manchester United, but by no means a walkover. Next up, this is the game we're probably going to talk about the longest, but we have Ipswich versus Liverpool at 1:30 on Saturday, straight after the Bokke, it's going to be a nice morning and lunch. What do you think of this game? I think we both probably quite a lot to say about Liverpool, but what are your thoughts?
Liverpool, I don't know what to think about Liverpool. You see, there's no signings. What happened to Zubimendi?
Fell through. We could talk about just that instance in general. It feels like the same instance is repeating every year now.
Yeah, but I can understand from his point of view. It's the same as Madrid coming for Trent.
Yeah, or when Steven Gerrard almost left for Chelsea.
It's like you're leaving your boyhood club. It's going to be at the back of your mind. Do I leave? Do I not leave?
Especially if it's not on the right terms. Yeah. It's like if the club is basically making you the bad guy, You don't want that.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you don't want to not let them down, but you want it to be on respectable terms. You're not leaving the club in a worse place.
Yeah. But apparently
Yeah.
he's like rejected Arsenal,
He's rejected Arsenal,
Bayern.
Bayern already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Liverpool thought they could do differently, but yeah,
Yeah, we almost had him though.
yeah. For
Almost.
48 hours,
Yeah.
I felt like we were going to get him.
Almost.
But I think just Liverpool, I think they're better than Ipswich. But I think the problem is now is that this is the fourth or fifth defensive midfielder. We've needed to strengthen this position for years now. Since probably after when we went for the quadruple the first time with Thiago and Fabinho, when we just lost our Champions League final, lost in the last day of the season. We knew then already that the tank was empty. We needed signings. Tried to get Tchouaméni. He said no. Then we pushed through another season. It was an absolute mess. Ended fifth. Wanted to get Caicedo. Wanted to get Lavia. Messed around with the Lavia deal where we just wouldn't offer enough.
Yeah.
Then in the last second, offer what they want, but it's too late. He goes to Chelsea. Caicedo as well. In the last dying hour, offer more, and then no. Now with Zubimendi, it's just like the thing that frustrates me is just the lack of plan B.
Yeah,
There
they
is
said there's
just-
no plan B.
Which I can't understand. You've been working on this position for essentially 4 years, almost 4 years, and there's
Yeah.
no plan B. And I get it. If this was like Virgil van Dijk, you wait. But this guy said no, you need to move on.
Yeah.
And you should have known going into this, like, okay, this guy said no to Arsenal, one of the best teams in Europe. He said no to Bayern Munich, one of the best teams in Europe. What are you doing differently to convince him to leave?
Yeah.
And you have to go into it considering the option of he's going to say no. So how can you
You
just...
have to have a plan B.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Liverpool will beat Ipswich
What's your
because
score?
I think the squad is still really good. I'm going to go for 2-0.
2-0. I went to 3-0.
Okay, 3-0.
Yeah.
I just think I have to give Ipswich, it's their first game in the Premier League, like they're going to be fired up. It's at home for them.
Yeah.
Still don't know enough about Liverpool under Arne Slot to give that super convincing victory. But I think talent-wise, Liverpool are, miles ahead of Ipswich. It's just hopefully Gravenberch or Curtis Jones can fill in for, what Zubimendi was going to do.
What I'm really disappointed about Liverpool is they're just selling all the youngsters. I don't.
Yeah, Carvalho's gone, which I can
Carvalho.
understand.
Ben Duck also.
Yeah, they say,
is up for sale as well.
Tyler Morton. Now then they say they want to loan out Bajcetic.
Yeah, I think we should give him a try though at the 6.
I think if you're not signing Zubimendi, they've said they don't want Endo.
Yeah, they said Endo's not good enough. So.
I don't think Curtis Jones and Ryan Gravenberch have that defensive mindset.
Yeah.
Even though I think Bajcetic when he came in like 2 years ago, before his injury, he was our best midfielder.
He was. Yeah.
He was our best midfielder.
He created a lot from that.
And I can see him in that role being, great, better than Gravenberch, better than Curtis Jones. But I don't know what's going on. Now apparently we're going to sign Mamadashvili, the Georgian goalkeeper, and loan him out for 2 years. I don't know what's going on. I'll trust the process.
He was in your fantasy team, right?
Yeah, he was. That 4 million Georgian goalkeeper. But which I think, that's a good signing. He played really well at the Euros. But that's not going to help us now. And Liverpool are in a point where the league top 4 is going to be so competitive. Top 6, top 7, top 8 is going to be so competitive. You misstep once, you can fall. Look at Chelsea. They have, before you even think about it, you drop 4 or 5 places down the table. And you have to earn your way back up. And that's just what I'm worried about. But not focusing too much on that. Focusing on Saturday. Liverpool 2, Ipswich 0. That's just my thoughts. I think our attack's looking good. So
I think a 3-0.
3-0. Who do you think is going to score?
I think Salah, Diaz, and I'll give one to, I think, Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
He'll come
I'd
out.
love Nunez to score though. I just
Nunez,
want him to
okay.
score. Start the season off right.
Yeah, okay.
Next up, another big one. I think this is similar to the United Fulham. Arsenal versus Wolves at the Emirates at 4 o'clock. This I think is pretty much exactly the same as the United Fulham. Wolves, low-key team that plays really well against the, inverted commas, biggest sides.
Yeah.
And Arsenal, the pressure is going to be on them this season, even more than before. I think last year, or going into the beginning of last season, it was closing the gap. They've essentially closed the gap now. Now they need to, win the title. Now they need to win. They need to go on those Man City runs where they just don't lose for 20 games. And I think Wolves is a great test. Also similar to United at home at the Emirates. Makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know if Wolves is going to be a good challenge for Arsenal, to be honest. I think they did really well in the preseason. I'm not sure who they played against.
I think they were in America,
Yeah,
so they probably played Brighton or Villa or something.
I can't remember who they played, but I think they did really well in that game. And I just think Arsenal's going to be too strong for Wolves.
Yeah.
At the home at the Emirates. I'm thinking a 2-0 maybe. 2-0 win.
I think 2-0 as well, but I just think it's a nice way. It's also not a season defined. It's stupid to say that it's 38 games, but a nice idea of where Arsenal at. If they come in, win this game 4-0, 5-0, they mean business.
Yeah.
They scrape through. Wolves are maybe better than we think, but also they don't. First game of the season at home, you need to be setting the tone. So I think 2-0 is a good score.
You're going 2-0 as well?
Yeah, I just think they clearly are better than Wolves. I'm just interested to see how do Wolves show up and how good are Arsenal. How good has their preseason been? They also have only signed one player. How much has changed? Those kind of things. Third up on Saturday, we have Everton versus Brighton. And like one of those games where I think this will probably be relatively exciting for the neutral because Brighton obviously new 37-year-old manager. Exciting style of play. Once again, losing a few key players, but have brought in some young ones. Everton, I'm excited to see Everton play, not because I think they're going to score a huge amount of goals, just because I want to see how much they've improved from last year, because I think they will improve. I just want to, like a similar thing, I just want to see how Everton start the season.
Yeah.
Because I think they will be more difficult to beat this year. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's had a solid preseason. Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Brighton, even though I've just said Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go for Everton now.
Just had to go the
Paolo,
switch up there.
Are you watching this?
Yeah. But it's just, I think Brighton are better than Everton. I'm just curious. I'm just more curious than anything to see how Everton set up.
I just went for a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they evenly matched. Nothing exciting for me.
Okay. No, I think last year with predictions, I went for too many draws too early and it absolutely destroyed me. My total at the end.
I just think it's the first game. Won't be too much in it.
Yeah. I'm just going to go for Brighton. Just because I'm...
Away from Mama.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I think this next game, Newcastle versus Southampton, I think this will be probably the highest scoring game of the weekend. Because I don't really back Southampton that much, and I think Newcastle with Isak and everyone fit, Anthony Gordon, they're going to probably pulverize them. What are your thoughts on the game?
Like in my predictions, I said Newcastle's going to finish, I can't remember where I said, I think 4th or 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Newcastle's going to be a good team this season. A lot of people are just like forgetting about Newcastle. I don't know why, but...
I think Aston Villa have taken a lot of attention away from Newcastle.
Yeah,
it was like,
exactly.
Not last season, the season before, it was
place,
Newcastle, like this team that's climbed up the table so much, playing exciting football, Champions League. Then last season they fell off.
There's always that odd team that comes in.
It was Brighton before then, and then it was
they just fell away.
Wolves at one point, and then it was Southampton at one point, or Leicester.
Yeah.
There's always that one team from the outside, the top 6.
That challenges,
Exactly. West Ham have been there. So, yeah, I agree.
So I think Newcastle is that team that's going to do it this season for me. I think so. What's your score?
Yeah, I'm going to go for 4-0.
4-0, okay.
Yeah, I did say it's going to be the high scoring one, so I have to make sure. And I think Isak, Gordon, they're going to tear Southampton apart. Also think Newcastle's defence, when everyone's fit, they have a really good defence. And I just don't see... Southampton's team really isn't that strong. And, I think they're going to struggle to stay up. I think we said in our relegation predictions, Southampton are down there. So, 4-0 Newcastle. I think it'll be a relatively comfortable day at the office. Yeah, wouldn't want to be a Southampton fan this weekend. Yeah, that's from me. I think this next game also has an exciting edge to it. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. But when I say exciting... more of the Everton-Brighton that I mentioned because I think Bournemouth have the potential to be a very exciting team this season again. And Forest, I don't know if they're going to be too great. So, yeah, I'm not sure what your thoughts on that. I'm going to go for 2-1 Bournemouth, another
2-1.
risky away win.
I went
Just
for,
because even though they've lost Solanke now, I think I still think they're a solid team.
so.
I
Okay.
still think they're a solid team.
like you said, similar to the Everton-Brighton game, I also went 1-1.
Okay.
So I think that those two games are going to be very similar to each other. Just the style of play,
Yeah.
the type of game that's going to be played is going to be very similar. So I went for 1-1. I think Bournemouth will struggle without Solanke. I don't know where else they're going to get their goals.
Well, they've got Sinistera and Enes Unal and then Kluivert, but it's no one as good as Solanke.
Yeah.
But I think it'll just be, I think their manager's really good. So I think Areola, I think I'm excited to see what he does. I think they've still got a solid platform there, have an exciting style of play.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how he gets goals. But yeah, I think 1-1's probably more realistic, but I'm trying to stick away from draws in the first week.
Okay.
Yeah. This next up one, I think actually this is going to be the most exciting game of the weekend. West Ham versus Aston Villa. Other than probably later on Chelsea, Man City, but West Ham, Aston Villa, because West Ham have improved their squad, new manager, they've made some ridiculously good signings. They haven't lost too many players. I don't think they've lost a key player. They've still got Paqueta, still got Kudus, signed Todibo, signed Wan-Bissaka. They've I think they've made some great signings. They've still got Bowen. I think West Ham are going to be a great team this season, and Aston Villa, obviously, we know how good they are last year.
Yeah.
This is a difficult one. I think I might go for
Could be either one. Could
yeah,
go either
honestly,
way.
but I don't think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 West Ham win because they're at home, and I think they'll have a point to prove.
Okay.
I think they'll have a point
I
to
went
prove.
the opposite way.
Okay.
2-1 Villa.
No, because, yeah, I think this season, I think we mentioned it, top half of the table is going to be, even from 12th up,
Yeah.
is going to be ridiculous. The squads in the Premier League now there's very little, obviously there's the top three of Liverpool, Arsenal and City, but down from that, there's so little gap. The gap between West Ham and Villa, I think squad-wise, is not that huge, if there is any.
Yeah. Just looking at the stats here, they played 50 games and they each won 14. So it shows that it's really tight.
Yeah. So yeah, I've
14
gone
games
2-1
each.
West Ham, you've gone 2-1 Villa.
Yeah. Either way.
Now we're heading to Sunday, Brentford versus Crystal Palace. And I think this time last season, this wouldn't have been that exciting of a game.
Yeah.
But I think Palace are in a similar situation where they've also got a talented squad. Their manager's playing exciting. Similar situation to Bournemouth, and they lost Elise. But, they've still got a great team. And they play exciting. Their style is very exciting. Brentford kind of feels like their squad is dipping every year. They've still got Ivan Toney. They've still got Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah.
I think this is a difficult one. I think if Palace take the form of their last 10 or so games from last season into this game, I think they'll comfortably win.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'll go 1-0 Crystal Palace. But I think Brentford will make it difficult. They are a very, very, very difficult team to beat, especially
I
at
agree
home.
with you. We went to the same scoreline. 1-0 Crystal Palace. The thing with Ivan Toney also, he didn't extend his contract. Right?
No, his
so
contract expires end of the
at the
season.
end of the season. Okay, so I think this will be the last
Yeah.
we'll see of Ivan Toney.
If no one buys him now, but it's
Yeah.
also one of those things where it is a bit strange that no one's really put in a bid for him. He is proven Premier League striker. I think he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League. And even though he missed the first 6 months of last season, he was still, when he came back, still in great form.
I think he's going to go out on a free.
Yeah, I think that's probably what he's waiting for because his age, I think he's approaching 30. He's probably no one's really willing to. I think it could be cool for him to join Bournemouth, but I don't know if that would be necessarily the step up he's wanting. That's a sideways move. Yeah. But if he wanted to go to Bournemouth, I think that could be a good replacement for Solanke. But he's the kind of player could probably. I know Arsenal were interested in him. But I think his age is just a problem. too close to 30.
Yeah.
I think he's like around 28.
I
And
think-
no one's going to really
yeah.
want to spend 30 plus million on, a striker of that age, even though he is really good. Yeah.
I think Brentford should like make the most of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Use him as much as they can.
Yeah,
And then just try and stay up the
Yeah.
season.
exactly. I agree. Because I think Ivan Toney he's above Brentford's level 100%. Now, the biggest game of the weekend, probably, over both legs, the most exciting match to watch last season was Chelsea versus Man City.
Yeah.
And new look Chelsea, new manager, obviously new players, like inevitably. They have signed another 10 already. So, and Man City have kind of exactly the same, only one signing, just Savinho. They've lost Julian Alvarez now, and like we mentioned earlier, in the Community Shield, they did not look their best at all.
Yeah.
But I think City, over the past couple of years, they've lost Community Shields. I know they lost to Arsenal, lost to Liverpool the season before. So they've never really looked that good in the
Yeah.
Community Shield. And they did, De Bruyne barely played.
This is like every season.
Yeah.
City are slow starters
Exactly.
for the season.
They
you
are.
think every season, this is the season where City's not going to... But then they just...
After the
end up doing
10th
it,
game,
yeah.
around December, they literally win everything.
Then they win everything.
They win every single game. So I'm not concerned about
Yeah.
City not winning the title. But I think this is a good opportunity for Chelsea to get a massive 3 points early in the season.
Yeah.
It's at Stamford Bridge. This is probably, no one wants to play Man City, but this is,
Probably the best time.
this looks like it's the best time to
Yeah.
play Man City. And I think Chelsea, I know I said no draw, so I'm not going to do it.
Funny enough, last
Yeah.
season both fixtures were draws.
With draws, yeah. I think it was the 4-4,
4-4 and 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were still like ridiculous games. This is a tough one. I don't necessarily think Chelsea are that much better than last season. I think maybe they'll be more consistent. Because I also don't think that it's really clicked for them in preseason. I don't think they've had the greatest preseason either.
Yeah.
Man City definitely didn't. Yo, this is a tough one. I think I'm just going to go,
Safe.
safe with the 2-1 Man City
2-1.
win. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I went the same.
No, I think when in doubt, you got to
Yeah.
back City.
You have
That's
to back
like,
City.
yeah. So, but I think it will be another, like I said, good indicator of where the strength of Chelsea is.
Yeah.
Even though, to be fair, Chelsea played really well against Liverpool in the first game of last season. You could have said they were the better team, and then it just went, Liverpool kept going and Chelsea just dropped off.
What's
Yeah.
happening with Chelsea? Things are like a mess there.
Yeah, Gallagher's come back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Napoli have offered them Osimhen for Lukaku and some money.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
going on
there's
there.
always some sort of transfers going on there.
They
It's-
signed Neto.
Yeah, they signed Neto for 60 something. I think Neto's a great player. Injuries, that's just my only concern with him. His fitness at Wolves has been, you can't rely on him, but the 10-15 games a season he does play is insane.
He's a good player.
But 60 plus million on an injury prone winger.
Well, it's Chelsea. They can
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
Extended Cole Palmer's
Another
contract to
till
another 2
2033.
years, 9 years. Yeah.
2033. Cole Palmer will
Sure.
be playing until I'm in my mid-30s for Chelsea. I mean, I don't think he will, but that's crazy.
It's crazy.
I just don't understand. I mean, I get the financial side of it. Now, Cole Palmer's life is set.
Yeah.
He's probably earning like 150,000 plus pounds a week for the next 9 years,
Yeah.
whether he's bad or good. But it just feels wrong to commit for that long. It's like a baseball contract. I know this, like, Todd Boehly owns the LA Dodgers, so he has brought this baseball mentality in. But 9 years is essentially more than 2/3 of a football player's career. It just seems excessive.
So do they do the extra 2 years for a wage increase or?
So they gave him a wage increase.
Yeah.
So I think the way they work contracts at Chelsea is almost like slightly counterintuitive. It's the point of signing a long contract is so you keep the player at those wages. Like that should be, it's like you're signing these high potential players for lower wages with bonuses to incentivize their success over a long time. So you're not like getting to a point where you're paying, like Man United were, like £400,000 a week, £375,000 a week. But if you're just going to, every time once the player has a good season, extend their contract and double their wages or whatever it is, like, what's the point of giving them that contract? It's just like, are you protecting yourself if they're bad? Because you're still paying them like probably a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I think it was for the financial loophole that's been closed now, but I don't know why they're still doing it. Like, it just seems like, I don't know, just the fact that no other team has ever done it, and now the loophole's closed, no one's doing it. Like, it just seems that whole squad's there until 2030s. Like, that's insane. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. But I guess I'm not a football finance guy.
Yeah.
So it's above my pay grade. But yeah, to close things off, last game of the day, Monday, 9 p.m, Leicester versus Spurs. What are your thoughts on this one? I think I don't really have too much to say about this, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
How was my prediction on Solanke with Spurs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Spot on.
Yeah. Spurs and Leicester. Funny enough, the last time they played, Leicester won 4-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that like 2 years ago or in a cup? It was probably the last time they were in the Prem.
I think it was the last Premier League game they played, yeah. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Spurs win.
I agree. I think this should be straightforward for Spurs. I think Leicester aren't... I was like doing more research after the relegation predictions, and a lot of people think that Leicester are destined, like they're guaranteed to go down. Because they lost their coach, haven't really strengthened too much, lost players. I just don't think Leicester are going to be that great. As good as I thought they were going to be, I still think they'll be better than Sheffield and Burnley last year.
Yeah.
But I think Spurs, with Solanke, proper striker now, like goal-scoring striker, not Richarlison, who, with all due respect, hasn't really hasn't scored consistently. I think to help Son with the goal burden, to help Maddison, I think Spurs will be an exciting watch this season.
I think so too. Like I said, they were vanilla, but
yeah, I think they have players that other fans like.
Yeah,
like we like Son, we like Maddison, we like Solanke. There's no one there. It's not like Man United where I'm like Bruno and I almost want to spit because I don't like him, even though I think he's great. There's no like animosity towards Spurs the same way as other team. Okay, Richarlison he's just the unique Spurs player that I just can't, that no one can really stand. But I think it's because he does it on purpose. Like he wants that.
He wants it, yeah.
But like, I don't know. I look at other like Man City, like Bernardo Silva. Even though I love him as a player, he pisses me off every time I watch him play.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, every other team has players like that. But Spurs, to me, besides Richarlison,
yeah.
But like, I still don't even think. I think Richarlison's more because of Everton than him being at Spurs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's more the Everton
background.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I think Spurs will be an exciting team. I think Ange is going to do well again this season. I expect them to get a good start. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all our predictions. Please let us know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen. Tell us if we're stupid or not. We'll appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for joining, Junaid.
Thanks.
Sweet.